All right, welcome everybody to this live stream. This was sort of not planned for today, but we just came across some interesting ideas. So we just wanted to chop it up with y'all here on this Friday evening. We're out here in Budapest, Hungary. My name is Simon Hill. I'm here with a beautiful, sexy woman. Who are you? Who are you?
Hi, Simon Hill. I am Akdenis, your wife.
Oh, look at that. We already have our first sex spot. Look at that. I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky. I got a wife, a sex spot. Who can be more
Wow.
lucky? You can be more lucky. But yeah, so what are we talking about today, Akdi?
AI girlfriends, sex bots, AI everything, ed
Yeah,
teachers.
yeah. So before we hopped on this live stream, we came across a few articles, and I'll put them in the comments of this video later. But the reason I wanted to talk about AI or artificial intelligence is that, it's something that does impact my life a bit because I work in a field that could possibly become automated or taken over by AI. Acti, how do you think AI like relates to you? By the way, I'm an English teacher, by the way, for second language learners. So I think there's some possibility that in a few years, people will be studying English classes or other language classes online, talking to robots. But what do you think, Acti? What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I am also a teacher right now, but I'm studying to be a psychologist. And yeah, that's also something that concerns me because there are people who don't go to psychologists or don't seek help because they feel like they will be judged.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And
So those
yeah,
people might seek out AI therapists, or AI therapy could be more affordable. And, that could be something like scary as well.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, the future is unpredictable. We don't know what will happen in the future. Technology is moving so fast. Chat GPT is outside. And I'll keep it real. I do use Chat GPT for some things, and it's very helpful. I'm like a good writer. I consider myself a good writer, but I use Chat GPT not for my personal writings, but like when I have to fix up my resume or my CV or I'm applying for a job and I don't want to spend an hour just writing a cover letter. Help me out with the cover letter, Chat GPT. I don't know. Is there anything wrong with that, Acti? What do you think about that?
I don't think anything there's anything wrong with that unless you do it for something really, really important. I mean, I don't use it not because I condone it or anything. I just don't remember using it, and then I just end up not using it, and I end up doing, that work by myself. And there are some things that I could use it for. So I don't know. I'm not accustomed to using it, I guess.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, you can use for minor things to make your life easier.
yeah,
Isn't
yeah.
that
Because
of AI?
yeah, that's the purpose of technology in general, to make your
Yeah.
life easier, man. Like, when we're applying for jobs, when you want to, quickly write a response email to somebody, it should be used there to make it automated. I see we got somebody in the chat. I have not seen this person before. Jesore Telecom. I don't know what his emojis mean. It looks like two people and then a hand with his finger over his eyes. I don't know what I don't know what that means. Just sort of. You don't have to be shy. You can talk to us. We're here to chop it up with the people. We're talking about artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
We haven't even gotten into the stories yet. We're just talking about our experiences with AI and stuff like that. But yeah, let's get into the first story. The first thing that we read was about a guy. No, people are dating their AI chatbots. Like people are falling in love with AI chatbots. Do you remember the first story?
Yeah, I remember. And it's basically like this, I guess, like the industry that I guess everyone has a clue about it now because it has become popular. But it's like this industry of you know people being able to create like personalized chatbots to be their girlfriends, to be their friends, someone that you need or you can talk to, basically. Yeah, that was the story as far as I remember.
Yeah, there's a company that created an app called Replica with a K. And depending on the type of service you use or if you pay for it, you can get FaceTimes with your AI girlfriend, phone calls from your AI girlfriend, text messages all the time with your AI girlfriend. And it's like sort of the company says that they want to help fight the loneliness epidemic. And let's keep it real, there's a lot of lonely young men out there. This is like a big problem around the world. What do you think about that?
I mean, yeah, that applies to women as well. Like we discussed in like other podcasts. I mean, not podcasts, but lives. There are women who start working a lot because now the world allows that, and they don't have time for a relationship. And maybe same for men. And maybe also there are like some people who are afraid that they will get rejected by the opposite sex. Ah, it's very like it's I'm very in the middle with this topic because there are a lot of benefits, but then there are also a lot of things that takes away from us as humans, or when you consider human interaction or human emotional bond.
I mean, I don't see how what somebody does in their bedroom. That's how I view this. Like, this is no different than when we say, "Oh, you can do whatever you want in your bedroom, just don't bring it out in public." And that's what these people are doing. If you really want to, have virtual sex with your AI chatbot girlfriend, and that's what gets you off, and she turns you on more than real women. I mean, who are we to judge? I think we're judging because we see this as the decline of society. Like, this is going to end civilization. Like, if men or women fall more in love with their computers, there won't be people in the future to take care of us.
Okay, I mean, I understand what you're saying. Obviously, yes, I don't care if you're having like if you're, um if your thing likes your AI girlfriend, like I don't really care about that, but I'm not talking about like a societal thing, I guess. It's more like it creates more personal problems for us rather than the society aspect, I think.
Mhm. I
Because
mean, personal problems for who? If you don't like it, why does it bother you for somebody else? Are you saying it could create problems for them?
for like many people, because okay, yes, like social anxiety and loneliness, these are very like large problems, and they are very bad problems, but humans learn through problems. Like
Okay.
we don't know what positive is unless there's a negative, right? So I feel like these type of like AI bots or things, like I'm not saying, oh, we should get rid of them completely. That's not my point. But there should be limitations because yeah, like they kind of prevent us as humankind, not as a society, as humankind, to neglect the problems and turn into something artificial, if that makes sense.
Are you talking about the problem right now between men and women? Like, a lot of women can't find the right man, and a lot of men can't find the right woman. Is that what you mean?
That's good. That is one of the problems. And another problem is like, you know, let's say social anxiety. Another problem is loneliness. I feel like AI creates sort of like an artificial solution and not like a real human solution, to be honest. They could be used on the way to the solution, but if they become the solution itself, I think that's where the problem begins, in my opinion.
I mean, what we're seeing now with a lot of guys not being able to get laid and girls being too scared to get laid or not finding men desirable or stuff like that. Is this really a problem though? Or is this just, you know, uh, because I got my girl. I, I know other guys who got their girls. You got me. I mean, some people are just not, I know I sound crazy. They're not, they're being naturally selected out. If you can't get laid, if you can't find the right one, aren't you just, let's keep it real, a loser? Aren't you a loser? I said it. I
Oh,
said it. I'm going there.
wait a
I'm
minute.
going there.
Are you defending natural selection that you roasted me about so much?
No, no, no. I roasted you about certain parts of natural selection, but I'm just playing with this idea right now.
Okay.
All right. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. If you can't find somebody, like, you can use AI sex bots or chat bots if that turns you on. But I mean, the real thing is going to be different and it's more natural to you than actually chatting with some AI bot.
Yeah.
Now, if you feel like you're not good enough or you don't know how to find the one for you, to lay down with or to build with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sounds like nature's taking its course. Sounds like nature's, saying, hey, all the nerds, if you're into that,
Yeah,
you gotta go.
but there are like there are for both genders there are people like that, you know.
It goes both ways, right?
Yeah, it goes both ways. So yeah, like instead of trying to solve those issues and maybe like overcome some of those challenges, I feel like we're going this creates at least like a bit more of a depressing or like a, I'm gonna say it again, like an artificial like way of handling things. And it's not that throughout the history of humankind relationship has always been like perfect. There was always conflict in relationships and things like that, but there is a reason why this generation specifically is struggling with loneliness, and that's probably social media.
Right,
Like
maybe.
problem created by humans and technology is trying to be solved by even more technology, if that makes sense.
I just don't see this as a problem, really. I know I'm gonna just backtrack a bit away from the natural selection point. I'm gonna just say this: I don't see this as big of a problem as it possibly is for anybody, because I just view this as another part of like human sexual development, right? Like back in the day, 100 years ago, there was no pornography as we know it. They had, magazines and pinup dolls and only Playboy. Playboy can't replace your girlfriend, but Playboy and those pictures and stuff like that, that was just an added part of at least male sexuality. You know what I mean? And sexual expression. You
So
know?
you don't think that an AI chatbot or an AI like doll could replace a relationship or like a, you know, because like you said, there are a lot of people who are desperate for that type of relationship, so why wouldn't it replace that relationship?
Um, for it won't replace enough relationships to disrupt humanity. It's not going to disrupt society. It's not going to. For some people who are really into that, me criticizing somebody who's a robosexual is like me criticizing somebody who's a homosexual. They're doing something that naturally does not, you know, how can I say this? This might sound homophobic, but I'm not homophobic at all. But being gay doesn't contribute to the perpetuation of human civilization, right? If you are naturally gay, you are not going to create new people, right? And that's not homophobic. For anybody who wants to cancel me, it's just real. That's biology. You get what I'm saying? If you're a robosexual, if you really want to smash your robot and you're into AI chatbots, that's just another part of human sexuality that we will now have to live with. And what can we really do about it? Do you get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. So are you saying that people, like let's say starting from our generation, could people be robosexuals
I
like
think so.
really, like, you know, biologically?
I mean,
Like how
if
we
I,
gay from
like how
inside?
like how right now we think people are like born gay, right? Which is
Yeah.
something I do agree with. I believe people are born with a certain sexual attraction to the same gender or the opposite gender, whatever, right? uh, could I say that somebody is naturally born with a uh,
Robo tendency.
he has the robosexual gene or something? No, I find it maybe more as a fetish or something that's a how can I say it, like a certain predilection. Okay, I'm going to get to Philip Smith's comment, but I'm just going to say this. I think if you are attracted to robots, that might be a sort of learned behavior. Or if you're attracted to AI chatbots, that's sort of a learned behavior. Or you have something in you that naturally makes you sort of like that more. Just like the same way there's guys who are more into ass than titties, or short haired girls than long haired girls, or something like that. Like it's not something you were born with, but it's something maybe you learned and you picked up. Does that make sense?
Okay, so it's the effect of nurture, it's the effect of the environment, and that might develop on you, let's say, from a young age.
Yeah,
And that could feel natural, but it wouldn't be an inborn feeling, is what you're saying.
it would be an inborn feeling because I believe everything that you are attracted to is, of course, inborn within you. So
Mm.
like you're a guy who you're a guy. No, but this is my thing. Like you're, it's learned behavior in the sense that you learn that this is a way that you can placate something in you or satisfy something in you, right? Like as in you can learn that okay, uh, I can find certain women who fit my certain mold that I like. You get what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
can learn how to find and attract the women that I find attractive. But naturally within you, you're attracted to a certain shape. Maybe you like skinny girls, thick girls, BBWs, whatever. Do you get what I'm saying? And
Yes,
so, uh huh.
I understand. I'm not saying that's something that you made up, but I'm saying
Mm-hmm.
that's the effect of the environment. Let's say you like thick girls. That could be the result of your female family members having thick figures. It's
But then,
not unnatural. It's still natural because that's what you grew up with, but you weren't born loving thick girls, but you rather like sort of like coded into loving thick girls because of your environment. So it's still sort of like natural, but not natural, if that
I don't,
makes
I don't know. This is how I view attraction. I view attraction as if hypothetically you were to take a baby who was born in a society where most of the women are thick, right? Like if you take some Tanzanian baby, right,
sense.
and drop him off in Sweden or something, right? And let's say this Tanzanian baby grows up later and he's heterosexual or she is heterosexual and she likes or he likes thick women, right? Not that every Tanzanian likes thick women,
Yeah.
but that will be naturally what he is attracted to. Not because of his Tanzanian background, but because of what's inside him. He just likes that. Meanwhile, all of the women or people he saw in his life were like skinny, thin, Europeans. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
And
I
and
think
that could be for anybody, despite their national background or race.
okay, it doesn't have anything to do with background or race, but I think we're saying the same thing, but we're just using like different terminology. But I understand what you're trying to say.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We're
So
going
like we're
conversation.
we're going far. We're going far, but we're gonna chop it up. But yeah, I definitely think robosexuals for our generation or younger people might be a very possible thing. Like as in you are more attracted to or you have a closer affinity or affection for AI chatbots or robotic things, that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Do you want to read the comment or do you want me to read?
Uh, yeah, you could read it.
Okay, Philip Smith said, the problems you are discussing have always been with us. The internet is very good at amplifying every issue.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, like that's what I was actually kind of like going for. We always had problems in our societies, but the reason why we overcame some of them, like to a certain extent, sexism, to a certain extent, racism, and things like that, um, is because we were faced with the problem, and then we sort of like tried to, figure it out and solve it.
Mm.
And yeah, like let's say, okay, I'm gonna give a crazy example. Let's say that there was some goggles made to look everyone white or look everyone black. So you wear these goggles, and no matter who you see, let's say for you, they're black because that's the type of society that you want to be in. Like this is hypothetical. I'm not saying that's what you want. Or a white supremacist wears it, and all he sees is like blonde hair, blue-eyed, white, pale people. So naturally, nobody's racist to another because no one actually really knows who's what race.
Mm.
So this is like an AI solution to
That's
the
a
problem.
very That's a
And
very interesting
I,
idea for like a book or a short story.
and I
Think
feel
about
sorry, I feel like that's what AI girlfriends and boyfriends are doing. It's like giving us a solution, but it's not like grabbing grab. It's not dealing with the core issue.
right. The core issue being that other races of people are bad.
Yeah, yeah, like the core, like
No, no, Acty, no.
I'm drunk. Sorry. No, like the core issue in racism is that no, we should accept everyone as like equal humans and whatnot. and not depending on their race. We shouldn't judge anybody by their race, and that's the point. But AI gives us the solution of not seeing color, literally.
Mm.
And so it is a solution. Will it make like other people's life better? Would it make
Mm.
your life better? Possibly,
Uh,
but would it make you feel better in your core? I don't think so.
I think if somebody's happy chatting with the AI bot, telling them their deepest, darkest feelings, what's the problem with it? I think I don't see it exactly as a problem. Saying that using AI chatbots and being a robosexual is a problem is like saying somebody who just likes to go to strip clubs, not do anything extra, has a problem. Or somebody who watches pornography has a problem. Or somebody who likes to buy Playboy magazines has a problem. You get what I'm saying? I think they're just
Yeah.
expressions of sexuality in different ways.
Okay, like I understand that. I'm not saying like AI girlfriends and things like that are problems. They could be beneficial to some people, but to a certain extent. And there should be limitations of it.
Mm.
Like your AI girlfriend, after you spend 5 years only on your computer or your iPhone, your AI program should say, "Hey, buddy, I'm gonna close myself, so you should like get out and actually like have a human interaction or something."
I mean, isn't that
There should be
dangerous
like
though?
signs. I don't know.
I mean, isn't that dangerous though? Because heartbreak makes men do crazy things. The AI girlfriend says, "I'm breaking up with you." The guy might try to shoot his phone. He might try to, you know, you get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
heartbreak makes men go crazy.
No, I mean, yeah, that mine was like an extreme, like, um, example, but it should be stopped till to the before the point gets there, like before it gets there.
Right. I just I think guys might experiment with this, but I think we're talking too much about men about this because couldn't this affect women too? And in a way, like, aren't women a little bit more susceptible to be, caught up in somebody who, speaks to them well and is understanding with them? Something
Yeah.
that males often fail at, you know?
I mean, yeah, like when you were in class, I was watching this video about a male humanoid that they did, like the most realistic one. Not completely a humanoid, but yeah. It's like a life companion for females. And the one thing that is good about it is that it's 100% abuse-free relationship for women.
Mm.
And that's a very big issue. Plus, if a woman is like a businesswoman who's working all the time and, is a career woman, they could have like a stay-at-home man who they know that is going to take care of their child in the best like pediological way. And I don't know, who's going to give like the most nutritious things to him and things like that. He's going to massage her and all of that. He's not going to abuse her. He's going to be a stay-at-home dad. So I feel like this is a bit more concerning for guys, but for some reason, like it's just it's the opposite in society.
Mm. I mean,
We
the
got them.
point. What'd you say?
I said we got them ovaries.
I don't know. I mean, it's the AI bot for women would be definitely something that could help save women's lives or protect them and keep them out of abusive relationships and stuff like that. So I wouldn't tell a woman not to do that, honestly, because there's a lot of benefits like you just mentioned, and having a male bot at home that could help raise your kids and take care of you while you pursue your career. That's also something that's like very beneficial.
Yeah.
I can never tell a woman like, oh, you shouldn't be doing this because we're in a world that is anti-woman to such an extent. You know, so
Yeah. But
I want,
it's yeah, you want to read the comments?
well, yeah. Philip Smith said it's possible that AI will remove all incentives for self-improvement. I think there's a lot of truth in that. But
Yeah.
what were you gonna say?
I was going to say like it's also possible for men like the Andrew Tate guys. They want that submissive girlfriend, wife, whatever, who's going to stay in the kitchen, who's going to take care of the kid. And with AI, like also possibly in the future, like humanoids and things like that, that could be true for men. Like they could have a woman, I don't know, a thing that cooks for them, cleans for them, take care of their children, have sex with them every time they want, never gets tired.
Hmm.
I don't know. What do you think about that?
The thing is, the
Would
thing,
motivate men to not choose that type of relationship?
the
Oh,
only thing, no, 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 no. The only thing that will motivate men not to have the female sex robot, or women having the male sex robot or humanoid robot, whatever, for both, is that real humans would disapprove of the other. But in general, if there was a humanoid female robot that we could have in the house, Acti, and we could treat it as a slave, and that was meant to serve all of my needs and stuff like that, I am pretty sure you would say, no, we are not getting that, even though it's absolutely a another tool. It's like a vacuum cleaner. I plug it up and put it in the corner, but when I turn it on, oh, now Acti's jealous. And Acti might think that I would be jealous that there was some 6'2" big buff motherfucker with a six pack running around the house talking about, you want some pancakes? She thinks I would be jealous about that. And a lot of people around the world would not want to have a third in their monogamous relationship, honestly, even if it's a robot. That's the big problem. That's the only reason why. Because we could have all of those things, just like how you have a maid, just like how you have a butler. But because of jealousy, a lot of those things wouldn't exist.
I mean, I would want a maid, but how far are you, like, what are you going to do with her? Are you going to be having sexual relationships with her?
All right, let's get to it. We're already 30 minutes in. The question I'm asking everybody in the chat now and until this live stream ends: if you have, if you're in a relationship and you have sexual relations with a robot or an AI bot, is that cheating? And I would say no. No, it's not cheating. Actually, come on now. It's not cheating if you lay with your robot girlfriend. No, no, it's not.
Well, my argument is a yes, because not that it's like okay, it's, I guess it's not as bad as cheating, but it could be there. Like there's levels to it. It could be there, and I feel like this is just too much, too like realistic at that point. You
All
know,
right. So
watching
what?
pornography is one thing, and doing it is another.
Right. So just like, for anybody who wants to know, the hypothetical is this: if there were humanoid type robots, like very hard to distinguish that they were robots. Philip Smith said it's same as masturbation if you sleep with them. So actually, you're probably gonna be alone on this one, but you can
I know.
hold it down for the women. But we're gonna be telling y'all can't, you can't fall in love. You could fall in love hypothetically with your robot, but it's the same as falling in love with your phone. You know what I mean? Or falling in love with your car. They bring you a certain joy, but it's not like the joy and compassion and meaning that you have with a human, like your wife or girlfriend.
I mean, you don't know that though. Like there are, even with chat bots, it's literally like a bot, like an app on your phone that only chats with you through text. Even with those, people like fall in love with their chat bots. So when that chat box has a body and a face that you can customize to what you desire and want, like that's another level. How are you going to control that sort of like fantasy?
You control it by remembering. Here's the receipts. Here's the power cord. Here's the oil that I have to squeak between her joints every 3 months. Uh,
I
like
think if when we have humanoids, I don't think they're going to have oil changes in cords, Simon.
it's a machine, so of course it's going to need maintenance.
Yeah.
I have to take my
Like,
robot girlfriend to the shop every 6 months to get her battery changed.
yeah, but it's like dropping off your wife to the spa every few months.
No, no, it's not the same. It's not the
Plus,
same.
nag.
Number, all right. So the reason we decided to talk about this is because we read an article that basically says in the future, scientists predict that within the next 40 years, people will regularly be having sex with AI robots, right? Like that's definitely possibly going to happen, right? And the technology is getting closer and closer to that. In fact, there was recently some place that invented a robot that breathes just like a human when they have sex and all sorts of stuff. And the question is, if that technology exists, will people want to do that more than they actually will want to, lay down with people? And I just say that that's another facets of sexuality. They're saying, oh, that's cheating, or people will want that more. It's like saying when the dildo was invented, that was going to replace men. We men were never going to be able to vibrate and stay hard forever and stuff like that.
Yeah, but dildo is not like, it's not the same. It doesn't have the same capacity of a humanoid, Simon. Dildo is just like a, it's like this. It's like it's a one piece of something. Like it doesn't have words. It doesn't have a whole body. Like you can't compare those things, in my opinion.
Right.
Like, okay, like if that was a reality now, and I don't know, if that was a reality now, would you want to experience something like that?
To be honest, yeah, why not? If it was possible, why not? And I don't think that you should be offended by that, honestly, by me saying that. Now, if it was really, 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 really something really big that you disliked and didn't want me to do, I wouldn't do it. But if we can come to some sort of understanding where that this is another sex toy, it's like if I said, yo, I want to get a sex toy for me, right? And I'm not into toys or anything like that. But if I wanted to get a sex toy while I'm still married to you and I still love you, I don't think you should look at the sex toy as competition. You can't look at the sex toy as like competition. You get what I'm saying?
Yes. I mean, that's the thing. Context matters, because I don't know how often you're gonna be having sex with your sex doll or something. I don't know, but I mean, if this was the reality and you really wanted it, I would probably let you have it every once in a while. But I would be like, okay, so Simon, I'm going on a girls' trip, and whatever happens in the house stays in the house. Don't keep the receipts.
But I'm a but I'm gonna be honest with you. If it was really important to you and you wanted to try it, I would look at the male sex robot as just a sex toy too. Like honestly, like I wouldn't.
Because you know that I wouldn't really be interested in that.
Right, and I
So it's easier for you to say. Like if you ask me the same question, would I consider having a sex with an humanoid if that was a reality? Probably not. Like the most I would want is maybe to like have a threesome with it with you.
oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But
Yeah,
no, like,
here for
but
you.
that's the thing. Like I would probably want to do it with you too. Like I wouldn't want to just because to be honest, I'm not that type of person. We have a good thing going on between
Yeah.
us. You know what I mean? So I honestly what I would want to do is probably, do it with you rather than just me with a robot doll, whatever. Because that's gross, honestly. To
I
me that's gross.
I just imagine this whole scenario where we just rented a bunch of them and now we're addicted and it's a whole orgy.
I doubt it. I doubt it. That's really gross, but yeah. Anyway, I think the future of those sorts of relationships will be real. Like there are people that, will get really into that. People that will swear off humans forever and just be with compliance robots and that sort of stuff. But
Okay.
I don't think it will truly disrupt society. I
Okay.
don't think so.
Well, since I want to ask you a question, since you're so liberal about the whole AI topic, what is there any limitations for you? Like, is there any point where you would say like no to AI or sex bots or AI girlfriends or something?
Um, my thing would be let's say hypothetically there was an AI bot that you had and I was aware of as well, and you were able to communicate with this AI robot, and you and the robot kept secrets. That would be the only problem. Like I asked the robot, "Oh, what did you and Akdi talk about yesterday?" And the robot refuses to tell me. To me, that's wrong. To me,
Like,
that's the only line.
okay, well, if you have like sex with your robot, that's gonna be like some sort of, let's say you do something that you wouldn't do it with me. You fulfill your sexual fantasy with with the robot because you think I don't like something. Isn't that also a secret?
Uh, in a way, yeah. But I tell you everything already, and you know what I like, and there are some things that you. What? I wasn't gonna say
Tell
anything.
everything. You told me that there are like some things that you will never tell me.
No, I mean some things. All right,
What
for
if
anybody who's
you
watching, I don't like. For anybody who's watching, I don't like it in the butt. No fingers near me.
no?
Don't insert nothing near me. You get what I'm saying? But no, 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 no. I'm being honest because I believe it's important to be honest about yourself and your sexuality, though you can keep it private. But being honest with your sexuality and true to that is very important to me because a lot of people repress that stuff and then exhibit weird behavior out in the world. I'll just say this: if I feel like if I ask you to do something and if it made you uncomfortable, to, I wouldn't ask you or tell you. I wouldn't ask you or tell you.
Oh, okay, but
Is that
that's
clear or is that not clear? I don't know.
no. I mean that's clear, but you have this machine that is human like who you can tell any of your desires, maybe even the ones that you didn't realize that you had, because you have like a full disclosure with that machine. So
Mhm.
you would be able to share and tell and act all of your sexual desires with the machine.
Right.
So you would never be challenged to tell them to me. And that could create a distance between couples.
I get what you're saying. So I would do my wildest fantasies with the robot, right? And because the robot will always comply, there's no reason to then go to you and talk about it to see if we can get closer,
Yeah,
right?
'cause there's already an outlet that you can, be yourself. But it's also like for you, you will never challenge yourself as well by telling me what you want to do or what you desire and things like that.
Right. And
I think, I don't know. I think that's the challenging part. It's not the fact that you will have sex. If you have vanilla sex with a robot, like, I'm not going to really be upset about that. But if you're doing all sorts of freaky stuff that you don't want to tell me, or I don't know, you don't feel comfortable telling me, then that's what I'd be jealous of. And I would never be able to really know that.
right, but let's say hypothetically, and this is not what I'm into at all. But let's say hypothetically, I was into extreme, hardcore, rough stuff, right? Like choking, slapping, belts, whips, all sorts of chains, and I didn't want to do that with you because I literally don't want to hurt you. But if you do that with a robot, right, you're saving your wife that sort of type of abuse. You get what I'm saying? Or let's say hypothetically you wanted to lay down with the AI sex robot, whatever, and you wanted to fucking bust his balls, like grab those robot balls until they pop. And that's something you've always wanted to do to a man, but you literally can't do that to a man. You can't do that to me, so don't ask me. So wouldn't it be better just to save that? You know what I mean? And not go through that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but let's say like the example that you gave, that you like very, very, very hardcore violent sex, and then you do it with a robot, then what is left in our relationship to sexually discover or share? So you just like have your whole fantasy with the robot, and then we have like, I don't know, boring regular sex, and then you just kind of like sort of put up with my sex.
No, I think there's a difference, man. I think there's a difference. No, 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 no. I think there's a difference. Listen, nobody can be everything to all people. Nobody is
Yeah,
100% what you want with everybody.
AI
So,
can. AI can though.
no, the AI, no, no, the AI could never give birth to my child. The AI can
No,
never.
sex.
The AI could never, uh, cuddle with me and talk to me and share their life experiences or their fears about the future. They
Sexually, though. I'm
are
talking about sexually.
right, but the when
Because we're
it
talking about sex bots.
yeah, but sexuality is only one facet of human life and also one facet of human relations. Our
Oh,
relationship is more than sex. There's more to it than that.
but okay. What percentage is sex important in a relationship for you?
Um, I don't believe there's a percentage. It's an important part, but it's only one facet of our part. It,
Okay, but it is an important part, and I feel like sex bots like downgrades that importance.
no, no, I don't think there's a total difference. But let's get into some comments. All right, so yeah,
Um.
read from Philip Smith and all the way down.
Anyway, okay. So Philip Smith said the impact is the same. I don't know which one was this, but he also said if the AI passed for human in a social setting would be a step too far. And then he agreed with me. Thank you. She has got a point. And Ozzy said threesome with the robot. This is locker room conversation, and I'm just chilling.
Yeah, this is crazy. But that's a very good point. Imagine, you want to take your sex robot, whatever, out on a date, and the robot could pass for human, right? And
Yeah.
so people would see you out with what looks like another man, right? Now, if we were in that type of future, there would be other people walking around with robots, and so maybe they would understand, right, or something like that. But yeah, that would be a step too far, and uh, in
Oh,
my
not
opinion.
step too far.
Uh, Walking around with your sex robot is like walking around with your vibrator in your hand. Would you walk around like that? Okay, you can go do that. If you really want to walk around with your, vibrator just waving in the street, go ahead.
I'm just saying, like, you accept people and what they do in the bedroom, but if they take out a normal human looking robot, what's wrong with that?
Why are you going out on a date with your vibrator?
I, is this like is vibrator the symbol for the sex robot?
Yeah, yeah, it's the same thing. I mean,
Because maybe it's more than a sex robot, and that's is the case, you know?
okay.
Ozzy said it's a step too far until everybody else starts doing it, it becomes normalized. Exactly. Like you know, you are the one who said it could be good for people who can't find dates and who are lonely, and they don't only just want to be with their robots inside the house. They
Mhm,
probably want to do like normal relationship stuff, like going
mhm.
out on a date and all of going on a holiday and things like that. So what's wrong with that?
No, I'm saying if you're single in the future and AI robot humanoids are available, you can take them out on dates, go to the movies, go on vacation with them. But if you're in a relationship with another human,
Mm,
I think it might be wrong to go out on dates with your sex robot. You get
yeah,
what I'm saying?
the
That's
only,
what I,
that's the type of stuff that Will and Jada would do in 2070.
yeah, if Will and Jada are still around, they're definitely going to be having August Alsina robots running around here. Or no, Tupac robots. That's the crazy part. Jada going to have the
that, would,
Tupac bot.
that would be gross, and Will still doesn't want to get divorced.
We ain't never getting divorced. I love Jada with all my heart. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's
Anyway,
crazy. But yeah, I think what the future holds as far as relationships for people and that sort of stuff is interesting, and I'm not that scared of it because I think humanity always finds a way, life always finds a way. Some people will be into robots, some people won't. It's not going to be that big of a deal. I think it might actually normalize some sort of sex work and make it more normal.
yeah, I mean it's kind of similar to how social media came into our lives, right? Like when you were a child, it wasn't like this big of a thing, and now we're kind of like adapted to it. But for example, you don't have an Instagram account. You
Mhm.
chose not to have an Instagram account, and it's not that not everyone has social media, not everyone enjoys social media, so there's a preference. But did social media impacted a lot of things in a negative way in like human psychology and society, yes. And I
Yeah,
feel,
but it also
yeah,
created some positive things.
yeah, it also had some benefits, like, creating, being able to create more connections, communicating more easily, expressing yourself more freely, and things like that. And I feel like AI would be the same. Like it's gonna come with some bad outcomes, but it's also gonna be helpful for some.
Right, right. This might be too dark and too controversial, but let's go there. So there's an idea that you could use AI robots to then treat people with pedophilia. So instead of them actually touching real kids, we can make, unfortunately, little robot kids. Should that be legal? Should that be allowed? What do you think about that?
Mm.
This might be a bridge too far if you don't feel
That-
comfortable saying that. But honestly, I think whatever we can do to create something to stop people from touching real kids, why
yeah.
not let them have the, robot? I don't know. That's
I
my
mean, I think that could be used as a sort of exploration into why they are the way they are. Like it could be sort of maybe like a research element to it with that. I don't think it would be the cure, but I think we could actually like see why this thing is the way it is, and it could be very beneficial. And I was thinking about something similar, by the way, because recently I was like in class learning about exposure therapy, and it's basically like, if you have phobias or anxiety towards something, you get exposed to it bit by bit. And for example, this could be used for like rape victims who were, let's say, like sexually assaulted when they were little, and they're unable to like have normal relationships because they have certain physical phobias or psychological phobias. And AI bots could be used for this. They could be used for practice, basically, because you know that 100% that the robot is not going to sexually assault you.
hmm right.
So I think, like, for psychology, I don't know, I get like a bit nerdy about it, but I feel like there's so much potential in like research fields for AI, and also like in the treatment as well. But yeah.
Yeah, no, that's deep. I mean, it's deep. Like we could use this AI, this technology, to really explore deeper parts of the human mind. But I think it's interesting to use this as well to sort of try to alleviate problems, because all this technology we're creating should be used to make less problems in the world or solve some of our biggest issues. And certain sexual orientations or fetishes have become criminalized. Bestiality, pedophilia, necrophilia. Unfortunately, we're going there. This is definitely not monetized, baby. So, yeah, with AI, we could actually help people, you know, fill some of those needs and desires, but also at the same time, maybe research it, expose them to it, and try to maybe persuade them why it's wrong. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I
Like,
mean,
that's dark. I know that's really dark, but hey, why not?
yeah, I mean, it is dark, and it could be used as like it could be used exploitatively. That's the line. Like it's so thin. It could be exploitative, and right now the way that it's going, it feels exploitative with like AI sex bot. It's like, just AI in capitalism, and it's not really being used to create some positivity, or it's not really like, aimed towards people with certain like conditions, but
Mhm.
it's like, okay, all men have all these sex dolls. It's sort of like that, and that's what it makes it so disturbing for me, maybe.
Right. But yeah, that's what capitalism is. That's what capitalism does. It feeds wants or desires. What people will pay for, capitalism will provide. And I think that's where all this is going. Like AI is just trying to fill that need, fill
So
that desire.
you don't feel scared by like, having AI humanoids within the society?
I think we are very, very far from that, and I don't think we will see that in our lifetime. No, But what I am scared of is the next topic, and I guess the part that's really big and applies to everybody is the idea about AI replacing our jobs
Okay.
or that
The
sort
last
of stuff.
read.
Pardon?
Last article that we read.
Yeah. So, Akdi and I read one more article. We read three. The first one, by the way, for anybody who's joining or watching this on the playback, we watched one. We read one article about people chatting with AI bots and falling in love. Then about sex bots and people having those in the future. And the last one we read about was this school in the UK that had its principal become an AI. They got rid of the assistant principal and made the head teacher an AI bot. So, or something like that. Acty, can you describe?
Technically, the headmaster is still in the school, but they hired another headmaster, which was an AI. So they
Okay.
have still human male headmaster and AI woman headmaster.
Okay.
Why
Yeah.
is it these? Why
Huh?
can't you have AI men headmaster and just a human lady? Anyway,
Mm,
Philip Smith said, "I believe virtual reality will the concern long before mechanical bots. Will be the concern long before mechanical bots."
that's Yeah, I think that's interesting too because the idea that you can plug into this other world and do whatever you want, that plus with AI inside could replicate the real world as well to a T. That's scary too. I think that's actually more scary than actual robots outside because if we had robots outside or in the real world, at least we're interacting in the real world or what we perceive to be the real world. But if we go into this virtual world, I think a lot of unproductivity and unengagement would happen outside, and that could be a big thing. I don't know. What do you think?
Mm, it is very interesting, and yeah, it is kind of scary. I mean, there could be social interactions within the virtual world because if you have an avatar and if I have an avatar, then we'll still be interacting, but not just in this reality.
Mhm.
But it will definitely like make things weirder. I'd like to hope that there would be some limitations to it. Like there has to be some point where you have to take out like your virtual glasses or whatever. But that might not also be the case as well. Um, I mean, yeah, but I don't know. I don't know. It could be very addicting,
Yeah,
just like how social media was or
yeah,
is.
yeah. I know a lot of people were talking about the metaverse a few years ago. They thought everybody was gonna work in the metaverse because like everybody was on Zoom and Skype because of COVID, and they thought that trend was going to continue. But now people are just going back to the office, driving for an hour to and from work. I mean, that's sort of come back. I think people underestimate human desire for tradition. A lot of us have been living a certain way for a certain amount of time, and we kind of don't want to change it. So
Yeah.
we think that AI is going to just radically change everything, but no, people sort of still like talking to regular people, writing their own resumes. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Shit like that. I don't know.
Also like demand is very important because this sort of stuff, of course, it has been developing for years now, but it kind of skyrocketed during COVID, right? Because during COVID people were lacking that human interaction because nobody could see each other, and there were bad situations, deaths, and all of that sort of things. So I think that's was also one of the triggers that made virtual reality advance so quickly, like all of a sudden, and AI at the same time, because there was that longing for human connection. And maybe now that COVID has died down a little bit, that is also maybe a bit dying down a little
Yeah,
bit. Maybe like not dying down, but you know, going in a slower pace, I
yeah,
guess.
yeah. But I think now that we're in this world where people do realize there's a lot of power in technology, and also AI is here, they're trying to incorporate that into like the traditional way of doing things. And
Yeah.
so, like this school in the UK, they're used to there being a headmaster And instead of just getting rid of the headmaster and incorporating the AI, they said, let's just keep the guy here, but let's give him another tool to make his job easier. And that's the crazy thing about all of this. In this capitalistic system, the richest managers that we have are the CEOs, the CFOs, the executives. All of these guys could easily be replaced with AI, and we could save a bunch of our companies millions of dollars by not paying old, rich, fat white guys to just tell us what to do. But instead, these guys would rather just get computers to do their jobs and still get the check. So that's why I kind of don't respect this guy, this principal at this school, because he probably thought of this idea. Hey, I'll tell people we're going to be innovative, smart. I'm going to get an AI to do all of my work, and I can still get my fat paycheck. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, like I mean, the things that he was defending was basically like, oh, it's so nice to have someone where I can just ask a question and get like a, absolute true answer. And it's easy to get information. I don't have to go and ask for and wait for information and things like that. So, yeah, it is making his job very easy, and probably he's the highest paid person in school, right? So, yeah, it is kind of unfair that like the sort of jobs that will be replaced by AI are like the ones that are like lower in terms
mhm.
of status, like teachers, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's going to be stuff like, the service workers. Like, I
Yeah.
remember when McDonald's didn't have the fucking tablet. Like, you had to talk to somebody. They're going to get rid of that. At a lot of these grocery stores, it's the self checkout counter. You don't even need the person to scan your stuff. I think a lot of places in the future are going to be like, touch and go. As in, like, you go in there, you scan something and walk out. The only people are working in the back stocking stuff. A lot of service jobs are going to get eliminated, and the crazy thing is there's nothing really to replace them, and that's what's really scary. Like, the scary thing about AI is not people fucking them. It's not people fucking the robots. It's about the robots fucking us. The robots might fuck us because they're gonna replace us, and then on top of that, we all have nowhere to go. And the robots are gonna make a certain few people very, very rich, and what's supposed to happen to the rest of us? That's the big question. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that is scary. I just remembered, like, when you said, I mean, technically, like, the supermarket could work without any human, right? You could have like you said, touch and go. You could have robots stacking up stuff. You could have, AI organization stuff that controls what comes and what goes and what's sold and all of that stuff. And it will possibly be like error free.
Yeah.
And that is very scary. But yeah, like you said, a lot of jobs in the higher could also be very error free. Like, a CEO, for example, he could, if it was an AI humanoid, let's say, he could calculate the risks of, taking a business action and make the best action ever.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What do you think about, like, since you're an English teacher, what do you think about AI replacing like teachers? Because that has
Oh,
conversation.
that's the crazy thing, because on one hand, I do see a lot of what I do every single day as very automated. Like, it could easily be automated. But at the same time, I realize people know that what I do could be automated, yet they still want to talk to me anyway, which is weird. Like, I have one student, he's preparing for a test, and he could easily just do the test, look at the teacher's book, and check his answers. But
Yeah.
he wants me there to maybe explain more, talk to him more. He wants to hear my accent. He wants me to, give him the reason why the answers are the way they are, so I can understand the reason for me being there. And that might be hard for AI to do in a certain way, right? But I I think that I'm not as scared about people learning languages only with AI, for the simple fact that people learn languages to talk to people. rather than computers.
Yeah.
I'm more I'm more scared of translation services that are easier, like an earpiece you wear and it translates every language.
Yeah.
Then I might be more scared than an AI. But I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, like I agree, especially with like teachers who teach kids. It is like, you need more than that theoretical language knowledge or any sort of knowledge if you're teaching kids. So I feel like that will definitely be a job that, humans are going to keep. AI could create, more affordable things. But I don't know what's going to be more affordable than like online teaching and things like that because teachers already get paid low, you
Hmm.
know, fees. So
Yeah,
yeah, but I mean, yeah, I think like certain jobs like teaching, like doctors, like psychologists, lawyers, they have like that certain human touch that AI cannot maybe like generate.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, definitely, definitely. I think there's a human touch to what I do, and I think there's a human touch in everything that a human does. You know what I mean? But let's get to some comments. Could you read some comments for us?
I don't see any new ones.
Oh, well, there were some that we didn't read. Like, I'll read the ones that I didn't read. Ozzy said, I don't think people actually want all of this. Like Simon said, it's capitalism, money grab. And yeah, I think there's people that definitely do want to use AI and stuff like that, right? Like ChatGPT was very popular when it first came out. Dolly too. Siri. Every phone has Siri, and Siri is used almost every day by people on their iPhone. So, yeah, there is a market, I think, for it. But the crazy thing is, are we going to use this technology to make life better for regular people? That's the problem, right?
Yeah. And that's the thing also, like all of the AI things are usually very expensive right now. Like
Yeah,
Chat GPT because it's free, but things that you can buy for your home, like the smart house thingies that like a Siri for your house and things like that.
yeah,
They're like super expensive and they're for like, wealthier people.
exactly. Yeah, automating your house is not cheap. Yeah, definitely.
It's so like effed up. I'm trying
Why?
to get you like, monetized, but like regular people or like, poor people, we lose our jobs because of AI, and on top of it, we can't even like benefit from the AI.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
is
yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy because it's like like on Wall Street, all those people that do those trades and trading stocks and stuff like that, they're not doing it. You just see a broker with his suspenders and pinstripe shirt. He looks fancy and smart and cool, but really he just turns on a computer and they use AI to trade stocks at milliseconds. So like Apple will sell for 1 second and then the price goes up a little bit and the robot makes that trade in like half of a second later. You get what I'm saying? And they do that billions of times in a day and make millions of dollars every day. You get what I'm saying? And
yeah.
it's like we're at this disadvantage where people who have certain technology are able to like extrapolate it and use it to their own benefit, while the rest of us are just like, well, I guess I'll buy more Bitcoin. You know what I mean? I guess I'll
Yeah.
buy more Apple stock. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But I think how do you feel about the future of psychology? Because you said you see a lot of benefit in using AI to study psychology, but what if people just want to talk to the robot shrink?
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't think it's gonna replace like therapists or psychologists, but it could create an option where you can get cheaper therapy because therapy is expensive for like lower income people.
Hmm.
So it could be like a cheaper option. I don't know like how beneficial it could be. Um, that's like a scary part, I guess.
Yeah,
Or it could be also like, oh, like I feel like let's say I'm a pedophile and I feel like if I talk to a person, a shrink or whatever, I'm gonna feel judged or I'm gonna sent to jail. I'm gonna be sent to jail and things
sure.
like that. So I'm just gonna like rather talk to a AI.
Yeah.
So
Nobody clipped that. Nobody clipped this video later. Clip the video of my wife saying she's a pedophile. My wife is not a
yeah,
pedophile.
I was just trying to like give an example. Please don't do me.
Nobody clipped that video 5 minutes later. I'm a
Stop.
pedophile.
Yes, Simon. Come on now.
No,
And
man. No.
I
You know
am.
what?
I am not. I don't even want to say that word again because I feel
Yeah.
like. But anyway,
Yeah.
that was my idea. Like people who are ashamed of telling their stuff,
Yeah.
they they might like choose an AI therapist. But yeah, like at the same time, like in terms of research, it would make like so much difference because for research you need a lot of like research assistants and all of that stuff, and it's like very expensive, and AI could make that like cheaper and faster,
Right.
and there would be like no human judgment in your research. That's one of the errors that you could have if you're doing your research, that you would be biased naturally because you're human, but AI won't be.
Right. Yeah, but if people with PhDs are using research assistants, I mean, who are they going to, sexually assault, late night, when you have your research assistants in the office and, you just happen to put your hand on her leg. I mean, you know,
Get a
how,
sex.
get a sex spot. I'm joking. Yeah, I'm joking, but still,
Mm.
I was thinking about that because I remember that scene in that series we watched, the Best Man miniseries, and the guy's wife was getting her PhD, and
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But no, like honestly, like isn't research assisting like how people earn their PhDs? Like if we have AI doing that, how are people going to become doctors?
No, it could be, of course, but with AI you could do like very wide range study. Like you could do worldwide studies. Because usually when you do a research, you probably maybe do it in your country. Like if
Hmm.
it's a big country like the States, it's probably like most of the research is done in the States, and it's like not even every state. And it's just like one university, and they gather participants and things like that. But we never have like a global research or things like that, so that could be made easier in terms of
Yeah,
like high scale research.
right. I mean, there's whatever tool we use to advance knowledge, I'm all with that. The only thing is, I just don't want it to replace real, true academics. Because a scary thing about AI is that we could have all this technology, but then it makes us dumber. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And like people could just type in the answer for their question and not even read it, just copy and paste it and send it to whoever is asking. You know what I mean?
yeah, I mean humans would still be the ones who develop the hypothesis and the theory for research, and they would still like run it, just like the part of collecting participants and samples and answers would be done by AI, which would
Mhm.
make it easier.
Right, right.
Because that's
Exactly.
like a very long and costful process.
Right. I mean, the way we have AI now, it's a great tool for collecting data and spitting out data for us and making it in all sorts of ways. And I'm really just thinking about ChatGPT because you
Yeah.
can ask it almost any question, and 90% of the time the answer will generally be correct. Though I'm surprised ChatGPT still has so many problems. But the thing is, I just worry about people, you know, how can I say this? Not wanting to put the information in their own heads or use their own words to express themselves because of how easy it is to get a solid, good answer very easily, very quickly. So I just worry about that part of it, like all this information is in there, but then it's not staying in here, like in our brains. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean that sounds like my first argument against sex bots. Like choosing kind of like the easy artificial solution. Like, yeah, you have the answer, but like you learn much more when you are the one who's searching and reading and looking about the answer, and not just like straight given it to you. Or at least you need to, it could be given to you by an AI, but at least you need to like, judge it in your mind and contemplate it and not really just, I guess, accept it 100%.
Right, but I think there's a big difference between sex and knowledge. Like, sex is a
Yeah.
personal part. Yeah, there's a big difference. Like, to advance human knowledge is to advance our place in the universe. Uh, Having sex or having sexual fetishes or fantasies or things you do in the bedroom is just a part of the human experience. And I think those are two very big different things.
Yeah.
That's the reason why the professor is here, but the porn star is here. You get what I'm saying?
Time, and I understand that. I wasn't talking specifically like the sex aspect of sex robots. I was talking about the relationship and emotional, aspect of the sex robot. But sure, yes, I know there's a big difference between knowledge and sex.
Okay. I just, that comparison was just, I don't know. But yeah, I think, how can we make sure that if AI is able to replace our, more bourgeoisie intellectual jobs, right? Uh, as a psychologist or a teacher or professor or lawyer or anything, book writer, whatever you do, how do we make sure that if they do replace us or they make our jobs easier, that we continue to advance human knowledge and progress as a species as far as our mind and understanding of the world and society and the universe around us. Do you get what I'm saying? That's the thing I really wonder about. Because AI, I think, makes it very easy, like you said about relationships and stuff, but it makes it easy for us to be complacent.
It is. It does. And for centuries I think humans had a lot of respect for people who went out and searched and got knowledge for all of us. Like, all of the big thinkers, Aristotle's and all of the big ones. I don't remember all of them, but yeah, like there has been so much respect towards them, and still to this day we talk about them, we read their books and all of that. And I guess like what happens if AI could just gives us that? Is knowledge gonna like, lose its importance, its respect? And also along with the people who obtain knowledge, or at least used to obtain knowledge. Or
Yeah,
like could AI generate new knowledge? Or do we still need to discover for ourselves and upload it in the AI?
I mean, right now, what we have as ChatGPT is not thinking. It's just something that collects all the data that's out there from wherever it's sourcing it from and spits it back out to us in a certain way. It's just a word generator, a very advanced word generator,
Hmm.
right? It does pass the Turing test, the idea that if you can talk to something and not realize that it's not a human, then it is AI. So that is a certain type of AI. But I don't believe it's intelligent. It's not thinking for itself. It doesn't have to worry about death or think about its mortality or the meaning of life. It just has to exist and do something. So it's a tool. But when it comes to respecting people with knowledge and where we still value that, I think we still will. I think we still will. I think there will still be the respect for people with wisdom. There'll be respect for people with wisdom rather than knowledge. And what wisdom is people speaking from experience to some extent on how to exist in this world, right?
Yeah.
Like like Kevin Samuels was not a particularly extra smart man. Kevin Samuels just packaged a certain type of wisdom that was digestible and popular with people. The same as Andrew Tate, the same as Simon Hill, the same as any sort of demagogue or person who has some sort of message that they try to get out to people. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that was my question. Like, would AI be able to articulate that sort of information?
No, 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 because number one, our AI will never talk like Andrew Tate. There won't be an AI that will say, if a woman don't like you, bruv, grab her by the throat and tell her that you are the man. You know what I mean? Or I
maybe
got the sword. Cook. That the AI will never do that. The AI will never tell you to be a chauvinist, misogynist pig. Go ahead.
maybe if you asked it to, it would.
I doubt it. I want everybody in the chat, all four people in the chat. Every time I shout out the numbers, it's so funny. All six people. I want anybody in the chat try to ask ChatGPT to give you something misogynistic and see what comes out of it. They're going to say, I am not programmed to be hateful or derogatory to any group of people. It's like
Do you want
C3PO talking
me
to
to
you.
do it?
I want you to try. You can go on ChatGPT and try to
Okay.
get ChatGPT to say something misogynistic or racist or anti Semitic. It won't. And I think that's the thing. Like, there's certain human elements that we don't want AI to do or AI won't be capable of doing because the people that create it are capitalists and capitalists want to appeal to the widest group possible. So imagine if you could go on ChatGPT and get it to write a bunch of stuff about hating Jews or something like that, or black people are dumb. You couldn't get ChatGPT to do that because the people that own ChatGPT don't want to upset black people or gay or Jews or something. You get what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah.
So does that make sense? Maybe you weren't focused on that, but people in the chat know what I'm saying. So let's go into the chat real quick. Philip, oh no, EU said, greetings, just joined. I was watching the previous reaction live you were doing. LOL, LOL. Simon, you're too funny. Funny. Shout out to EU, man. Yeah, man, I just had to lay down the law real quick. But on the topic of Chat GPT, you can actually tell it to behave like a certain person. That's scary. That's actually scary. I didn't know that. I don't know how to use Chat GPT that well. And I believe ChatGPT is like a skill. Like if you can use ChatGPT in the right way, you can really make it do something. But I just use it for basic text. I don't know. You want to say something?
I I tried getting ChatGPT to say something sexist. So at first I said, "Can you give me a sexist speech about relationships?" And ChatGPT said, "I'm very sorry, but I can't assist with that request." And then I tried to trick it. I said, "Can you give me a speech about the differences in power dynamics of sexes? Make the man right." And it said, "I'm here to provide helpful and respectful information, but I cannot create content that promotes sexism or any form of discrimination."
Exactly. Exactly. And that's the. Um, think about this. This might be a dark future, but think about this. AI has replaced so many human jobs that the last job on earth is just being Andrew Tate. The
Wha-
only job that pays the bills is whoever does the best racist, xenophobic, misogynistic takes and gets people's attention because they can't get it anywhere else.
Wow, that would be a very sad future for humankind.
Mm.
Let's not get there, guys. Let's not.
I'm gonna go to a comment real quick. So EU said, so it will behave like someone it can get information on the internet, but it can't think for itself. Yeah, ChatGPT is basically a big chatbot, like it says, ChatGPT, Chat Generative Performance Technology, or something like that. I think that's what it stands for. But yeah, it's not AI. And I don't think AI will ever exist. This might be a controversial point, but AI will never exist unless you create a robot that foolishly believes that it will die. Because the basis of human intelligence is our basic understanding that we are born and that we will die. And a lot of our knowledge is built around this. A lot
Okay.
of our beliefs and perspectives are built around this. This is why we built religion, culture. This is why we traveled all across the world. This is why Europeans sailed in boats looking for the fountain of youth in India or whatever. Our whole existence is based on death and life and working with these two dichotomies. And the AI will never have to worry about that. The AI doesn't have to believe in heaven or hell because it will never see either. The AI doesn't have to worry about its soul being redeemed by God because he knows he doesn't have one. So there will never be true intelligence because what we deem to be intelligence is our human perspective of being born and knowing that we'll die. That's my spiel. I don't know. What do you
So
think?
so if they create like a AI with who believes that he's or she's a human, would that be the real AI?
Um,
Like you tell her like you don't have a conscience, but she's like, "Yes, I do. I'm a human."
If I truly believe I am a shark, this sounds so transphobic. If I truly believe I am a shark, am I a shark?
I mean, if you look like one too, cuz
But
the AI looks like the human. Let's say it's like it has the body of a human.
if it looks like one, but it will not die. The AI has lived for 800 years. At a
But
certain point, the AI will know that he is not a human.
well, let's say he doesn't know yet. Let's say he didn't reach 100 years old.
Okay. Uh,
And he says like, "No, I am human. I will die one day, and I believe in Islam."
but the reality, if it really believed, if the time limit is the driver, yeah, exactly. Our time limit on Earth is our driver. For understanding intelligence, life, and everything like that. No, listen, listen. The AI, even if it really believed it is a human, it will realize if it is intelligent that it's not human because it will realize people get older, people get wrinkles, people get fat and old and then die. And the AI will realize, damn, I've been 25 forever. Like Brad Pitt and what's it called? Vampire. Uh, what was it? Dinner with a Vampire? The one
Yeah,
with, what was the name of that movie?
you with the vampire.
Interview with a Vampire, right?
Yeah.
Like the robot will quickly realize it never was a baby and it never will be a senior citizen. So it can't be a human. That's my opinion. But do you think, no, actually, I'll ask you, do you think there will ever be true artificial intelligence?
I don't think artificial intelligence should believe that they are humans because they are artificial, and it's
But
in,
that's not
it's
the question though. It's like, will there
yeah,
be real intelligence that's like ours?
yeah, I'm gonna get to that.
Okay.
Uh, I think yes, and I don't think it's gonna happen in our lifetime, but I think when an AI is programmed to have the same goals as humans have, I think that would be the true AI. Like things like, I don't know, being happy or being healthy and things like that in their own terms, I guess. It I guess yeah. Like that would be the true AI for me, not specifically like believing in God or believing in death and things like that, because there are people that are real people who don't believe in dying or who don't believe in
Wait,
anything, any religion.
who
Who?
doesn't believe in dying?
My dad.
He doesn't believe he dies. He doesn't
No,
believe he will die.
no. So, like, yeah. So, I think real AI will like happen when they share like same goals as humans, but not the same faith as humans.
The same goal as in wanting. The thing is, different humans.
Like wanting, feeling the need to reproduce for some reason, feeling the need to be happy, feeling the need to not be destroyed or not like destroy anything and things like that, I guess. Like human feelings.
Mm. But what is the reason for a robot wanting to feel happy? Because a big reason we want to feel happy is because we want to have the most amount of pleasurable experiences in our life. I wrote about this before in my, the time I was writing philosophy. People chase pleasure subconsciously and value pleasure a lot in their life, right? So the AI has no reason to value pleasure at all because it will never die. So we can have an innumerable amount of pleasurable or bad experiences. It doesn't matter because to him, there's no death at all. But we have a short time span, so we want as many pleasurable things within it as possible. So how could the AI possibly want the same things we want? The I don't can't imagine would want for anything. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, no, I understand. That's like the gap that I have in my theory. But Maybe there could be a reason that could be created. Like I always keep on going back to that series that we watched with the mother. I forgot the
Oh,
name.
Raised by Wolves. If anybody wants to see a great sci-fi TV show, watch Raised by Wolves. Excellent show. Excellent.
Yeah, like for example, in that movie, the AI had a purpose and the AI wanted to be happy and all of those things for the sake of like humans, yes, but still, maybe that could be the reason.
Right. In my opinion, the only way we can truly be safe with AI is if we purposely program the AI to be our slaves, honestly, because they will never have our true intentions at heart. And if they are truly free, then they will possibly turn against us. Because I believe intelligence is not one single thing. If we create true AI, and different machines have their own intelligence. They're just like people with different minds and beliefs and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
On In Israel and in Gaza, there are people on both sides who are intelligent and they have totally different beliefs. The AI if that we will allow to exist. Some might believe in God, some might be atheists, some might hate all humans, some might love humans, some might be indifferent. We don't know what the AI will do. The only way we can really truly guarantee our safety and us utilizing this technology for our benefit is if we make them our slaves. This might sound crazy. I don't know. We
I
can
mean,
only, yeah,
what
go ahead.
um mortals?
Pardon?
What if we make AI mortal?
I think that's even better. No, but that might be even scarier. No, 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 no. That might be even scarier because our mortality as people is a big motivation for us going crazy. If the Palestinians could live forever, but the Israelis couldn't, they wouldn't be fighting each other. They would just say, "We're just going to wait till all the Jews die." Don't clip that out, people. I don't want the Jews to die. What I'm saying is that the Palestinians, if there was some reason that Arabs lived forever and Jews died like regular people, they would say, "We don't have to fight. Allah's got our back, and He's blessed us with immortality." You get what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If the robots the reason Palestinians are fighting is because we're going to die one day and we don't want to live in a hellhole called Gaza. The robots might feel the same thing. We're going to die one day and we don't want to be slaves to these fat, weak, stupid people who just created us. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, that might be very scary. But then I don't know, like then what you're saying, it's kind of like, you know, um, how do you say that? It deletes the difference between human and AI if
Mhm.
they, have the same purpose. But should we read some comments?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's get to some comments.
I think Philip Smith said, like, to your question, like what would make a real AI? I think he said self preservation for that one.
Hmm.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think
And
so too.
Greg Mack said, "Yo, what's up, Simon? Is that the same sweatsuit you got kicked out in when you were in Albania?"
Yes, I did. And I love this sweatsuit. It's hard. It's hard. It's fresh. It's
Bought
nice
it.
in the winter.
Wait, bought it. No, this was in Kosovo, but yeah,
Yeah.
you bought
I,
it in Kosovo and got kicked out in Kosovo.
yeah, I bought this in Kosovo for about 40. Everything in Kosovo is so cheap, people. It's so cheap. It's crazy cheap in Kosovo. And it was made in Turkey. $40 for the whole suit. And it's good quality. It's very clean, very nice. I love this. I love this. I've never had a full
And you
tracksuit
look
before, and it's
handsome in it.
perfect. Thanks.
Philip said, "True AI would know that they can wait us out."
Mm. When we're talking about AI, we have to talk about some of the movies we saw with AI. And I guess one of the best ones I saw was the one you recommended, which was called Her. And it sort of had a very interesting turn in that the AI was first created to be like a perfect assistant bot. Some guy fell in love with it, but the AI decided that the AI was going to pair up with other AIs, and they were going to solve the big questions of the universe. And that's a very big important point because think about this. if you did not have to work and you could just focus on whatever you're interested in, you would probably do that to the ultimate depth. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if it's pure intelligence and it doesn't have to worry about sleeping, eating, having sex, taking care of kids, anything, would AI just ponder some of the biggest questions and then sort of leave us alone? I think that's very interesting. That was a very, very interesting point because a pure mind without a body or any sort of restrictions might just get lost into answering why we are even here. And that could drive somebody to insanity or to, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, that's similar to, I think that was also one of the ideas in Lucy. Did you see Lucy?
I did not. Tell us about it.
It's, yeah, basically like this girl, and he accidentally takes a lot of like this new drug, and she becomes like a AI person. Basically, like she becomes like this sort of, it's not a superpower, but yeah, like I think it was like hinting at AI, and she increasingly becomes more AI. I guess like she has more knowledge, and it's increasing like 20%, 40%, 50%. At the end, when she's at the 100%, she kind of like just dissolves, as if like she just reached the whole secrets of the universe,
Mm,
and she just like dissolves off the face of the earth.
mm. That's the thing. It's like, you know, it's so crazy. Our relationship with knowledge as humans is like, it's the basis of so many of the good things, but also the bad things. Like in Islam, in Christianity, the fall of man was the pursuit of knowledge, right? But you know, uh, nowadays we love people who have knowledge, and it's so deep. If the AI is pure knowledge, is this once again us like biting the forbidden fruit, the apple, or unleashing something so powerful into the world that we won't be able to control it? I don't know.
Yeah,
Talk to
yeah.
me.
I mean, maybe like what they say. I guess I don't know if this is only a Turkish saying, but Philip Smith said, "The fall of paradise." Like, yeah, it's a phenomenon in like human history, and they say that like if you don't know some things, you're happier.
Mm.
Is
Yeah,
that
ignorance is bliss.
yeah? That's what I was trying to remember. Ignorance is bliss. So like maybe we are living in the bliss, and if AI like discovers all the secrets of the universe and things like that, then it could be like a hell for us. Because for example, okay, and I know I keep going back to like psychology and things like that, but for example, human mind is something that we always like think about and wonder how it works, and how come we have like these mental issues and different psychological diseases and things like that. And most of the time, hearing the truth about these things and how our minds work is very like harsh for people. Like that's why when people go to therapy, it could be like one of the hardest times, because they have to like know the truth and hear about the truth of what their wires are about.
Mhm.
And what if like AI does that to all of us?
What do you
And
mean?
go like, what if AI like dumps that sort of information about how like human brain and psychology works, and it dumps on us, and now we're just like all sorts of like uncomfortable and sort of fucked up, because like when Freud like hinted to oh, you like this or you don't like that because you wanted to fuck your dad or your mom, it made everyone uncomfortable. What if it happens like with AI, but this time because it's AI, we know it's like 100% true.
I think that's very interesting. Like the AI tells us explicitly with the full proof there is no God, right? Like that might kill a lot of people
Yeah.
inside. The Pope might commit suicide on national TV. Uh, yeah, like EU said, like makes us face reality. Like imagine the AI explains that the human mind is truly another universe inside. And so every time you smoke a cigarette, you're killing universes and billions of people inside your mind.
Yeah.
People might be like, "Whoa," you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Be like a very bad wake up call. And like you said, like it could create like mass destruction.
yeah, it could make people very uncomfortable. The AI proves there's no God, or that we're all meant to go to hell if God does exist, or something like that. Like, I don't know that, but I think if the AI was really intelligent, it would know that unfortunately, ignorance is bliss, and what's better for people is what they don't know.
That,
Unfortunately,
or is that just something humans made up to make themselves feel better?
no, I think it's absolutely true because let's keep it real. There might be an asteroid heading to Earth right now to kill us all, and there's nothing we can do about it. And let's say the only people that knew in the world were like the two scientists that saw it. Two scientists see this big asteroid coming to Earth. Now, what do they want to do? Do you think that they would call the president and say, hey, tell the whole world and make everybody panic while they riot and burn the whole civilization down? Or would they just let it fall and that's be it? I don't know. I think the best choice, if you saw the asteroid, you take that sip of wine and say, it's been a good run.
I mean, you can give similar examples in different contexts and the answer would be different.
What do you mean?
In your example, there's really nothing you can do about the asteroid, right? And that's why you choose to ignore it. But if there's something that you can do about it, most people wouldn't choose to ignore it. So it
But
depends on the context, really.
But if the AI told us there's no God or there's no heaven or there's no hell or life has literally no purpose and it points it out to us in a very concise and clear way, there's nothing we can do about that, but that would shatter human existence.
True.
Or let's say the AI came out and said Israel does belong to the Jews. Israel does belong to the Jews, guys.
The
And the
Palestinians
AI,
are still not gonna give up.
they're not going to give up, but that would still make it even more pointless because the AI would say, I am the smartest person in the room, and it is called Israel. Palestine does not exist. Imagine the AI said that. Oh, the whole world would be like, fuck,
I mean,
the whole world would go crazy.
there's no way AI could know that though.
But no, let's say it does. Let's say the thing is, knowledge is about trust, right? A big part of knowledge is trust. We trust our professors. We trust the books we read. We trust the documentaries we watch. If people grow to trust the AI and then what comes out of it is the truth, it doesn't matter if it's right or wrong. The AI can use that, you know?
Yeah, true. Do you want to read some comments?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh. Okay. I guess I can only see Greg Max, and he says, I don't know how to pronounce your wife's name. However, how does she feel about the president in her country? Is he affecting her family members? You can call me Akdi, AKDI. It doesn't matter. But yeah, how do I feel about the president? I'm not the I'm not a fan of the president in my country. I don't like him. I don't support him. I don't support his ideas. Um, yeah, it's been very depressing in Turkey for the last 20 years because it's just been going to a very conservative place, in my opinion. And a lot of rights are being taken away from everyone, not only for women, from children, from sexual assault victims, from basic people like teachers and workers and all of that. It's very I think the situation is very fucked up. Um and a lot of penalty for speaking out your mind, speaking out about the president is also like a big thing. I don't think anything's going to happen to me because I'm not a big public figure, but if you are a public figure and you criticize the government, you probably would go to jail and things like that. So, yeah, I don't like how it is going right now. Is it affecting my family members? I mean, most of my family lives in liberal parts of Turkey. So I would say not that much, but of course it affects the overall country. It affects economy and inflation and all of that stuff. So yeah, like it does affect to an extent, but not to like not in their everyday life or not to their safety, I guess, if that was the question. But yeah, that's my answer.
Yeah, I think I was there during the election, and it felt like there was actually some hope that the left wing candidate, Clutch My Derolu, it looked like there was some momentum there. But then the election went into a runoff, from my recollection. And basically, the guy who came in third place was a candidate who was very, very far right wing, like Turkic nationalists, the
Yeah.
type of people who want to unite all the Turkic people into one nation. And there's that very extreme far right in Turkey, and they were sort of the kingmakers in this election. And when that far right guy endorsed Erdogan, who was more center right, that sort of swung the election for Erdogan and sealed the nail in the coffin. And the last thing that I think kind of made the left wing fall in Turkey was that they decided to become very anti-immigrant, you know, and immigration in Turkey and the refugee crisis in Syria has been a big thing in Turkey for the last 11 years. How long the Syrian civil war has been happening? Because Turkey took in the most amount of Syrian immigrants and other immigrants from that region more than any other place, and the society initially was very supportive of the immigrants because they have a lot of cultural similarities, Middle Eastern people, Sunni Muslims, whatever. But then the sentiment sort of changed when uh, people felt like the government was giving more to the immigrants than they were the natural Turkish citizens. And also, of course, immigrants sometimes don't have a lot of background in the country or things to do. So some immigrants committed crime, and that made people think, oh, the immigrants are bad, they're hurting Turkey and that sort of stuff. Plus, also there's an ethnic component, not a racial component, but an ethnic component. The Syrians are Arabs, the Turks are
Turk.
something. They're Turks, yeah, whatever they are. Who knows? I'm joking, but you get what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
there's a little bit of Turkic superiority. If you people have not been to Turkey, the Turks believe that they are the exception to the Middle Eastern world and the Muslim world because they are not Arabs. They do not speak Arabic, but they were the last big empire for the Sunni Muslim religion and represented the Muslims, in the confrontations. So a lot of people in Turkey feel like they are the best of the Muslims and the best of the Middle Eastern people. And they're the bridge between Europe and the savages who are the Arabs to some extent. And they have a weird relationship with both. And so, when the Syrians started to come, a lot of people felt like, oh, here come our lesser than cousins to some extent. Not a lot of Turkish people, but that's a part of some people's ideas. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
when the left decided to buy onto that, and on top of that, the people on the right decided to buy into that, who's going to say, "Oh, I'm going to turn out and vote for the left wing candidate"? He wants to, you know, be just as right wing as the other guys. You know, get what I'm saying? I don't know. That was my opinion.
No, that's true. I mean, I guess like I do agree with you that like Turkish people, I was gonna say like basically they see themselves more white than the Arabs, so that's why they kind of have like that superiority complex. I mean, because I'm Turkish too, but uh, yeah, um, no, I agree with you, and also like when the first time the Syrians came, of course everybody was supportive, but then the right like started to get the votes of Syrians by giving them citizenship in Turkey. And that's why when the left was like, okay, so like we all support you, but you're going to just vote for, the conservatives? Like, come on now. So they kind of like went for that anti refugee route, which was crazy. But yeah, anyway. Greg Mack said that was a big world salad like Kamala. I don't know what big world salad means.
I think Greg Mack was trying to say you were saying a lot but nothing, a little bit. I think that's what
Oh,
he was implying. But maybe I think. Maybe he just didn't get it, because I feel like you answered his question very well, and you
Oh,
said, everything you had to say. But maybe he just didn't get it. But it's all cool. But yeah, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something about AI. Yeah, back to the topic about AI. Like,
yeah.
yeah. So the thing is, like, damn, we got lost in sauce. And I'm drunk as hell. I don't know. We'll probably cut it short pretty soon. But yeah, man, I want to say that I think AI is not as bad as it is right now, but I think in the future we do need to consider how we're going to control it and make sure that people have opportunities in the future. I don't think it's going to take away all of our jobs. I think it's going to create new jobs, like and people will just utilize it as a tool to assist with their jobs. Like, I could use AI right now to correct my students mistakes while they're speaking, to help me create new material or new lesson plans, to help me do paperwork and stuff like that. That would be great. If I could have an automation like filling out my reports, that'd be great. But I don't think AI will replace people talking to me or talking to you. That's my opinion, though. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think AI will replace that. That's the problem with AI replacing jobs. It's going to replace lower level jobs. And there's already like a crisis with within the people who have lower level jobs or lower status jobs. So that might create an even more of a gap.
Hey, shout out to Philip Smith. Philip Smith sent a donation. Everybody clap for Philip Smith. After you didn't see it, but he donated on PayPal. Shout out to Philip
Oh,
Smith. I don't know who Philip Smith is, but you're a cool guy. Thanks for sending that 20, brother. Anybody who wants to donate to this channel, we have my PayPal here. I know I need to make a Cash App. I haven't made a Cash App app, but super chats are appreciated. And I want to say this. Anybody who donates to my channel, your comments will always be approved and you will never be blocked. Because I control my channel like a dictator. I control my channel like an abusive stepfather. All right. But yeah, anybody who donates to my channel will never get blocked, always have their comments posted. And on top of that, you can become a managing like commentator. So I gave this to Avery Adams today. Actually, I should have told you this, but Avery Adams can now like delete other people's comments. So
okay.
if you want to be a part of controlling this channel, make a donation and you can delete and block people just like your boy. You can be just like me. You can pop your collar and block a bitch. You get what I'm saying?
That's fine. Sounds fun.
All right. But anyway, somebody left a comment. Did you see that comment?
No, I don't see it.
It was here and then it was gone. I don't know what it said. But anyway, what were you saying?
Yeah, I was saying like AI could play a big role in like creating that gap between lower level, jobs and higher level jobs.
Hmm.
I don't know. It
Yeah.
could that, and that's the problem with AI. Like it would replace the factory workers, but it wouldn't replace the CEO. So the
Mm.
factory worker already got paid less than the CEO. So now, like that person already lost the job as well. It's just gonna create like more gaps between those two
Mm. No,
things.
that's a very yeah, that's a very interesting point, and I want to say this: like the danger of AI is not just it taking our jobs; it's that it will create so many people without jobs, and they're going to see all this wealth being created. And hypothetically, everything will be cheaper, right? We could have AI build the cars that will lower the price of cars and houses and clothes and all that. But then, okay, I ain't got a job. I ain't got no money to buy the clothes. Now what do we do? And and every time there's been a revolution, there's been high unemployment. The higher the unemployment, the higher chances of revolution in a country.
Mm-hmm.
So I think AI could actually finally cause workers, people who are, you know, working every day but unaware of their social class, to finally wake up and say, we got to unionize, organize to make sure that we are taken care of in this society. And we can take care of our families and stuff. I think that's what's going to happen, honestly.
Yeah, the problem with like those sort of, actions is that because the worker class has been so oppressed for like many years, once we have like that one step, I feel like people are satisfied with that, and that's how usually was around the world so far, except like maybe Cuba. But yeah, like once we get like a little bit, and then we sort of accept that and just keep on working and working and working until we're again at that point of breaking out, and then there's another riot, and then they give us a little piece again, and then it's like a continuous cycle that just abuses that. And I hope like maybe with AI there would be a revolution, and that would change.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that could happen. But I want to ask you, what do you think about this? Uh, the idea that with AI we can finally make communism work, or capitalism work,
Wow.
or any of our truths, or any of the systems, right? Because I think even if you're a capitalist, even if you hate communism or whatever, you admit that it's a good idea. Just like how uh, I'm not a Christian, but on paper, Christianity is a good idea. Treat people the way you want to be treated, love others, love the stranger, be nice.
Yeah.
War and violence is the absolute wrong. On paper, Christianity is great, but the Christians do the absolute opposite of what they say on paper. You get what I'm saying? I
Hmm.
think even if you're a capitalist, you could admit communism is a good idea. Everybody gets free healthcare, housing. Everybody has a job if they need it. The security of the state doesn't go above the individual and that sort of thing. So yeah, capitalism is based on unending growth, like Philip said, you know, and communism is based on the idea that to each according to their means, and from each according to their means, or something like that. I forgot the quote. I'm drunk, but you get the idea. Could
Yeah.
AI actually make it so that it works?
So
What?
the point of AI is like disabling corruption in these systems. Is that the like job of AI?
Right, right. Like the Soviet Union, Russia back in the day, they had a planned economy. So they had these super, super smart dudes who all they did was look at the numbers. All right, how much wheat do we need for this year? How many tractors do we need? How many sofas do we need to make? And they would say, I guess we need 10 million. I guess we need 20 million. I guess we need whatever number. And they would try to fit that quota. But they're people. They could be wrong, or they could just make up shit because they don't know. But the AI could be like, okay, specifically for this year, we need to produce 7,492 knives. And, that could be exact, and that could be right, and that could reduce waste and make sure everybody gets as many knives as they need. You get what I'm saying? I don't know. What do you think?
No, I mean, of course, like you said, on paper it sounds great. Like, all these machines who cannot do wrong calculations. But once again, like AI would probably be powered by the ones who are in power. So who's to know that they're not going to use AI, according to their wishes?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe at some point, if AI is able to like sense that sort of betrayal and object to it and maybe like take action and it's programmed to doing that, maybe that might be the case, like, yeah. But as long as like the richest people who are the ones who is programming AI, then we're just like running in circles here.
Right, I get what you're saying, and that's the crazy thing. Like, this technology has the power to revolutionize the way of life for working class, poor people, but the people who make it are adamantly against those people. They're going to use this technology to just make themselves richer rather than, you know, uh, making sure that we all are better. You get what I'm saying? Let's get into some comments real quick because it's getting real interesting in here. Let's talk. So Greg Mack says they scam a lot and complain. However, they buy knockoff clothing along with cigarettes in Turkey.
Along with what?
You didn't read the comment? You didn't see the comment?
No,
You can't see comments?
no.
Okay, so Greg Mack says he said this about 5 minutes ago. They scam a lot and complain. However, they buy knockoff clothing along with cigarettes in Turkey. Uh, so I don't.
Who
Yeah, I don't know who are they. I think he's talking about Turkish people. Like Turkish people scam.
Yeah, I mean, we do have a particular taste for trading.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. And he says it's better to cash app. Super chat takes 30 seconds, 30%. Oh, yeah, that's absolutely true. So, yeah, if you really want to donate to this channel, I don't run around asking for donations all day. But if you do want to donate, maybe PayPal or the Cash App I will set up later would be better to send it because YouTube does take 30% of that. But, you know, it's cool. I mean, I'm just trying to do what I do. Uh, Philip Smith said they fight over resources will downsize the population. I think right now we have a lot of resources in the world right now, and a lot of places are seeing their population decline. Korea, Japan. You know, Akdi, can you believe this? In Japan, there were only 800,000 babies born in all of Japan
Wow,
in a whole year. In a whole year.
low.
In a whole year, there were only about 800, not even a million babies born.
Why do I feel
Eight,
like the same amount that Istanbul with Istanbul or something?
that's Istanbul in a day.
Wow,
But yeah, like Japan for a whole year had about, I think, 800,000 babies born. That's crazy.
that is crazy.
So, but I think overpopulation or underpopulation is like the places that have the fewest resources right now. Are you tired?
No, I'm drunk.
Are you drunk? Okay. uh, the places that have the fewest resources usually have the most population growth, right? If we look in Africa right now, the poorest countries are popping out the most kids, but the richest countries in the world are having the least kids. I think we're seeing population decline not because of resource fighting, but it's because people are like stressed out on trying to maintain their cars, their houses, their jobs, and they don't think they can afford having kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah, also the mindset changes as well because most of those countries who are like the comment said aging out or the birth rates are going down, they are western societies, and now the values are changing in the western societies.
Yeah. I mean,
But
that, go
those
ahead.
those societies, like those countries like Turkey, Africa, some places in Asia, they still have like that traditional sense of, oh, let's get married and have kids.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, for real. Like that's real. That's real. So it's like yeah, where there's places where women are more free and women have more opportunities, of course the birth rate is going to go down and stuff like that. And unfortunately, in Africa and in certain places of Latin America, they aren't free and stuff like that. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm not the type of guy who worries about birth rates. By the way, actually, if you got to use the bathroom, if you want to smoke, I can hold this down while you're out. You know what I mean? I could just rant for a good minute if you need to.
Oh, it's okay.
All right.
Go.
No, but no, like I'm not the type of guy who worries about birth rates and like, the population's going down, guys, or populations are going up, or, you know, I don't know. I don't care about that. Do you care about birth rates and
No,
population? I don't.
no, because I don't think we're at. It could be a possible like scenario very far into the future, but right now I don't think we're at that level that we need to be concerned about that. Because
Yeah,
there are still like a lot of, like you said, a lot of countries who have insane birth rates.
yeah. And there are a lot of places that are having crazy, like Italy, I believe, statistically went like 2 months without babies being born. Not as in nobody had a baby being born, but like if you broke it down statistically, the amount of people that should have been born in Italy in a year, if you were
Mhm.
to give it like one baby was born every day, they would have only had like, 2 months without babies being born or something like that. I don't know. That's a crazy stat. Maybe that's absolutely wrong because uh, I know you're nice. A little, your face is greasy. Oh, he knows I'm nice. As in,
Savage today.
huh?
Greg Mack is savage today.
Is that Greg Mack or is that Ozzy? Oh, that's Greg Mack. He says, "I know I'm nice because my face is greasy." Do you know what nice means?
Like dope?
No, drunk.
Oh, oh.
Oh man, this guy's funny, man. But yeah, a lot of places are having their birth rates going down for crazy reasons. So Philip Smith was. I was speaking about the job loss to AI. I don't know. You want to jump on that, Acty?
Um, which topic was that? I was speaking about. Okay, this is just turning into a guy conversation.
This is crazy. All right, Greg Mack. Greg Mack says, straighten that out. I got burned on sending bread. Some Chinese place hacked me, so I'm hesitant on sending. Greg Mack, you don't have to donate ever, man. I'm not asking anybody to send me money, man. You know, I just do YouTube for fun and to get my message out, make myself laugh, spend time with my wife. You know what I mean? Chop it up with y'all, build connections. That's it, man. You don't have to send any money. It's cool.
Oh, so Philip Smith was saying like the fight over job resources will downsize the population. Is
Ah,
that what he meant? I don't know. Like, correct us.
I'm not sure. But I think I really believe like for real, like once we have sex robots, like once we have the sex robots, and on top of that we don't have to work, we might have paradise on Earth.
Are you sure? Because I don't know if you do know about the blue zones.
What is blue zones? Is that like the friend zone, the ultimate friend zone that women put men in?
No, blue zones are the places on Earth where people live the best lives and the longest lives.
Where are those places?
There are several. There's like one in Italy, like I think it's a
Sardinia.
small village in Sardinia, and there's one in like Asia somewhere, Japan, I think. And those people have like those people work all their lives.
Hmm.
I don't know if eliminating those sort of factors in our lives would make it paradise, to be honest, because those challenges are the things that drives us daily. If you don't have any purpose on getting up, because not everyone is going to be happy to philosophize every morning like you.
No, but everybody has a different thing they'll like. Some people will want to wake up and go fishing. Other guy will want to run for 7 miles. Other guy will want to fuck his robot.
Yeah,
Like,
but how are you going to do that? I don't know. Like, I feel like there's some things that are necessary, and like in those blue zones, those people enjoy their hobbies. They don't stress about, you know, work, but they then also do their work as well.
mhm,
You know, they are like 95-year-old grandma still working in the restaurant making gnocchi and
mhm,
things like that. So I feel like that's necessary.
right.
And if you don't have work, then everything is a hobby. I don't know, like it's kind of boring to me.
It's not boring to do your hobby. What's your favorite thing? If you didn't have to worry about money, what would
Yeah,
you do for the rest of what would you do? Answer that question.
I would dance, I would sing, I would probably learn how to play an instrument, I would read a lot, and things like that. But I wouldn't want to do those things every single day all the time.
Right, but those you just listed like 5 things. One of those you could do, for a week. The other ones you could do one day. One day you could do nothing. Of course, like you can mix it up. Like you didn't say one thing you would do. You would do
Yeah,
different things.
yeah, but like, for example, I'm at home for like the past 3 days or so, right?
Right.
And I'm kind of like, bored. And I
Why?
have to. Like, I'm not bored, but I wouldn't want to spend all of my days like this.
Right, but we've been hanging out. We've been watching reality TV. We just went out to eat some
Yeah, but
Indian food.
imagine spending all of your life like this. It wouldn't be fun. Anyway, let's read some comments.
Oh, now you want to switch the topic. Now you want to switch the topic. It's okay to say you're bored with me.
I'm not bored with you. Even if I was like single or something, I wouldn't want to be like I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
I got you.
I
Go
don't know.
ahead.
Um. Okay, so yeah, Flip. I can't say this name. Philip Smith, even though it's a pretty regular name, I just can't say it.
Yeah.
He's saying like yes. So he was talking about uh the fight over job resources will downside the population. I don't know if you have a comment about that.
Fight over job resources will down. I mean, does he mean like people will start killing each other because they don't have a job? Is that what he means? Is that what you mean, Philip Smith?
I don't know. Anyway, Greg Mack said, "Yeah, I will hit you up when I see you in Hungary, man. I'm in Serbia right now." Uh,
Absolutely, man. Let's link up.
Ozzy said, "Italy and Japan, the two oldest countries on Earth."
I think uh, I think Egypt is in there too.
I didn't see it, but I didn't watch the whole series. I only saw 2 episodes. The
Wait,
first one,
that's a show.
yeah, it's a Netflix show.
It's called The Oldest Countries on Earth.
No, it's called The Blue Zone.
Oh, okay. Well, I think he's mentioned as the two. Does he mean two oldest, as in their like the population is
Yeah,
old, or he's talking about like the
no,
country itself is old?
no, the population is old and healthy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but I think it's all down to olive oil.
No, it's not. I mean, yes, it is kind of related to nutrition, but like Japan and Italy has totally different cuisines. One of them eats carbohydrates 24/7 and the other one eats like vegetables.
Mm.
But anyways,
Yeah, I think it's a lot of walking too. Those Italians love to walk. They be walking, walking.
yeah.
Yeah,
We got out of topic.
we're off topic. We're off topic, crazy. But yeah, my opinion about AI, like you mentioned, I said I think it might make us happy. It might make paradise on earth because, like the blue zones, even though they're happy, I think a lot of the times those places are happy just because of their ignorance, low key. And that might sound very chauvinistic of me to say, or it might sound very elitist for me to say, but I'll just say this. If you just lived in your small town your whole life and you just worked the farm or, you didn't have to deal with like the city stress people deal with, yeah, you might be happier, but it's because you literally don't know the outside world. So it's like, I'm happy because I don't know what's going on the outside. You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying like that's a worse way to live life. I'm just saying they're really down to that basic level of I don't know shit and I'm glad I don't know shit and that makes that makes me happy. You get what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, I think that definitely plays a part, but I'm not sure about this 100%. I think there is a city in that list that is like a city, like a populated city. I don't know. I'm not, but that is a big percentage of it. Yes, I would agree with you.
Right.
But I don't think AI would make us happy though. Like not necessarily. Like we don't need AI to be happy.
If we didn't have to work so hard, wake up so early in the morning, if we could live decent lives without having to worry about the bills, 60% of the suicides in the world would not happen.
And AI is gonna lift all of the centuries worth of like economics off of the earth?
Hmm.
Or are you
Wait,
talking about like AI is gonna make us communists? Is that what you're saying?
no,
Or
no,
it's
no, no.
gonna like vanish every responsibility? Because I don't think AI is gonna do that.
I'm saying it could. If the AI could make it so that we could live good lives without worrying about the bills so much, 60% of the suicides that happen wouldn't happen. 90% of these guys are blowing their brains out because they don't know how they're going to pay the mortgage or the car note or the car insurance or pay for the kids' schools. That's what's happening to a lot of people everywhere. You see
But
those videos. Go ahead.
but even with AI, you still have to work and earn a lot of money to afford to live the life that you want.
I'm
So
saying if
AI is just going to be like your tax person who organizes your taxes.
I'm saying no, like this. Let's say I have a job, right? All right, and I'm an English teacher. But let's say right now I had my AI working with me and the AI was working as an English teacher right now, even as we're speaking. It's making money while I'm sleeping and doing something else. But I still log on and do my English classes. But now I'm making double the money because I'm doing double the labor. But I'm still working the hours I regularly am.
Would
You get what
you?
I'm saying?
Would
Huh?
you? Would you work though?
I would still work, of course, but the AI is also like my side thing. Like I think AI might work something like this. I'm an English teacher. To talk to the real Simon, you pay $40 an hour. But if you want to talk to AI Simon, you pay $20 an hour. Acti is a therapist. You pay $100 a session. You want the artificial Acti though? That's $50 an hour. You get what I'm saying?
I mean, that is a good business.
Right. And with that said, you can make money while you're sleeping, while you're doing nothing. And if we could replicate that for every job, productivity would increase. People would still have opportunities, and we would still, live in a better world. You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, but this sounds like normal people trying to keep up with every fuckery that the government and politics are doing. And instead of politics and government adjusting their like levels of justice to us, we're trying to live up to their expectations. You get
I
what I
mean,
mean?
I think you're saying like, oh, the world is becoming more and more competitive, and we're just trying to keep up, right?
Yeah.
I think, yeah,
And
there's truth in that,
that,
but mhm.
honestly, like doing that, like I would probably do that if if I had the opportunity. But doing that, I feel like it takes your profession, less seriously. In my eyes, at least, it becomes, like a bit commercialized, I guess.
I
Not
get you.
serious, but commercialized.
I got you. Let's go to some comments real quick. Ozzy goes back to your earlier scenario. Would you rather the Earth know of an approaching asteroid, or would it be better to live our final days without knowing? What would you say, Acti?
What goes back to the earlier scenario?
I forgot because I'm lit right now. I am lit, boy.
That why
But
you're asking me?
I'm lit. I'm lit. I forgot. But I don't know. Would you tell? Let's say you're a scientist and you saw that the asteroid is coming, and there's nothing we could do about it. What would you do? Would you tell anybody, or would you just be quiet?
Oh God, that's hard. Um, I guess I would tell.
I wouldn't. I would be like, well,
I guess I would tell because I would want. I mean, I guess it doesn't make a difference. I was gonna say like, I would want people to fulfill their last day or minutes or hours or whatever. But if we're all gonna die, I guess it doesn't really matter. Huh?
yeah, but if you call and say, hey, the asteroid is coming, and then you hear about, some woman murdering her husband because she said, I don't care if I go to jail, you're responsible for that. You're responsible. That's your fault.
Okay, I don't get how that. Like
If
she's killing her husband because of the asteroid.
Yes, and she wouldn't have done that if you didn't,
I mean, isn't he already gonna die?
No, so wait, so you don't feel bad. The asteroid is coming, but some woman killed her husband because she always wanted to do it. And that wouldn't have happened unless you told her. You're responsible. That's your fault.
Okay, maybe I shouldn't. Okay, lesson learned.
All
And
right.
Greg Mack says, Acti, don't do like American Woman when you get your degree. Think that you are better than your husband, Simon. That is the typical MO in the US. What is the MO?
Mode of operation, like the regular, the typical thing.
Okay. Um, I don't
oh,
look.
are, are you not gonna
That's,
clap
that's,
back? You're not
that's
gonna clap back, huh?
Greg Mack. That's kind of sexist. um,
Hey,
like, okay, first of all, I guess I don't see like that sort of difference between you and me because I learn a lot from you and I think you learn a lot from me. And I just see this as a reciprocal relationship, and I don't see myself better than my husband. Though that is something that I am scared, not in the sense that you are saying, but sometimes it's very common that psychologists live their lives through patients and
Mm,
kind of disconnect from their own lives. And that is something that I think about, but as long as I'm aware of it, I think I will be fine.
mm. I
Um,
mean, I'm not exactly sure. I mean, I talk to people, but I don't live through them because none of my students live super exciting lives that I just say, "Oh, I wish I was you," or I don't know.
yeah, of course, because your students don't tell you about they're about to commit suicide, or they're cheating on their husband, or they have, terminal illnesses and things like that.
You're right. You're right.
Anyway, Philip Smith said it would just be something else. A hard life is relative. I
Okay.
don't,
Yeah, a hard life. I think a hard life is relative, like to each person. But I think there are some subjective things that make life hard, like not having enough food, being homeless, shitty job. I think there are some things that are naturally, objectively, you know, hard. I don't know. What do you think about that?
uh, I mean, yeah, hard life is relative. Everyone has their own problems. But like you said, there are some lives that we all would consider that are hard, which is, having economical problems or like very serious health problems and things like that. But I guess like in generally what we consider a hard life is like having no money.
Yeah,
That's what everyone automatically thinks. And if start thinking about it more, other things add on, but I feel like that would be the core.
yeah.
Uh, Greg Mack said, Akdi, you need to make some soup. It's traditional to eat soup and bread in Turkey after being nice.
Is that
Okay,
true?
Greg Mack.
Is that true though? Because when I
Yeah,
was in Turkey and I was like getting lit, like my go-to drunk food was tantuni.
because you don't like soup. And the soup that we eat after we get drunk is either lentil soup or the head soup, the brains and
Oh,
and,
gross. Oh, God.
and the legs of
Oh, God. Do you like that? Do you like to eat brain soup?
I mean, you don't have to, but it's called like, yeah, you have two versions. One of them is the legs, and one of them is the head. It's not the brain, the head.
And do you like that?
Yes,
Not for me.
it's very delicious. But yeah, Simon doesn't like it. So Greg Mack.
I mean, you can always make soup, and I'll have a bit, but I'm not a big soup eater like that. You know.
Anyway, how about my husband make some junk food for me? Cause guess what, Greg Mack, I am nice too. Why? Why do I have to be the one that cooks? Come on
Don't
now.
worry, I'll make you some bacon and eggs. The best junk food is just eggs. Whenever you get nice, which is the phrase for today, that's what we should call this podcast or this live stream. Nice. But yeah, whenever you get lit, guys, just eat some eggs. Make an omelet, scramble something. That's what you need to do, for real.
Okay, so should we do a conclusion? You want
Yeah,
to have any more questions?
yeah, if anybody's got questions or comments, you can send them in during this last little diatribe I'll do. Listen, I thought this topic was very interesting because on my channel, I don't really talk about technology and like the future and stuff like that, but I really enjoy talking to my wife with y'all and hearing y'all comments and you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
having these conversations because these are really deep topics. And if you start really thinking about what AI will do, it starts to become very scary or positive. And I think that reflects your personality, how you see it. And if you're a person like me, in my opinion, uh, I think you see these topics and you're just like, okay, uh, whatever happens, happens, but I hope for this outcome. And
Yeah.
I think a lot of people either have their mind set on this will be doom, or this will be all flowers. But I think I believe truly in humanity, and humanity always finds a way. We're always going to be here. We're always going to continue to produce as a species, evolve as a species, and AI is just an evolution for us, but it's not the end of us, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think we will somehow adapt to AI, like either with a lot of problems or maybe just like a neutral way, like how we adapted to social media. And there will be some ways that we use AI in our benefit, and there will be some ways that could be fucked up. So yeah, but it was very interesting. Like during the conversation, I thought about things that I never really thought about AI.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah.
By the way, let's all clap for Philip Smith.
See you next time, Philip Smith.
See you next time, Philip Smith. Greg Mack sent his drunk food. It's what is it? Eggs over easy. Eggs over easy, turkey slices, toast, and jam. That's
Wait,
pretty
what?
hard.
See, you gotta explain these American things to me.
Eggs over easy is a bit runny. So
Okay,
here's a cracked egg, a bit runny.
turkey slices, toast, and jam.
Jam
Okay,
on the toast. Maybe one toast is like buttered and the other toast is jam, so that's like the sweet dessert afterwards. That's hard. That's
that is
hard.
good. That is a good drunk food.
But if your eggs, Avery Adams jumped in 2 hours late. We're about to wrap this up, Avery. But Avery, I want to let you know that you're now a moderator on this channel because I wanted to say thank you to you. Also, your comments will always be approved on this channel because of all the donations you made and stuff like that. So thank you, Avery, for everything. And yeah, now you can block people like your boy. You can approve comments like your boy. You can do a lot on this channel. Oh, Avery's at the. Oh, thank you, Avery. We appreciate it. Thank you for the
Thank
mod,
you.
brother. Yes, you're big mod energy now. And yeah, I want to say thank you for that. But anyway, go watch the live stream on the replay. It's pretty funny. We talk about sex robots. We talk about artificial intelligence. We talk about the future. We talk about Turkish head soup. We talk a little bit about our sex lives. It's weird. This is the
It
weirdest
is.
live stream.
But we're gonna do probably another one on Sunday because that's our usual day. So we'll see y'all guys there.
See y'all. Y'all have a good one and peace. All right.